Well, good evening. We're here at the State Emergency Operations Center providing an update on Hurricane Helene. It is currently making landfall in Taylor County in the Big Bend section of Florida, at Deckle Beach. It is a Category 4 storm with maximum sustained winds of 140 miles per hour. It is moving northeast at 24 miles per hour. Hurricane force winds are extending up to 60 miles from the center of the storm, and tropical storm force winds are extending 300 miles from the center of the storm. I'm joined here, of course, by Kevin Guthrie, the Division of Emergency Management Executive Director, as well as Dave Kerner, Executive Director of the Florida Highway Patrol. We have had a report of a fatality on the roadway. Car driving on I-4 near Ybor City in Tampa was hit when a sign fell onto the highway. So that just shows you that it's very dangerous conditions out there. You need to be right now just hunkering down. Now is not the time to be going out. Not only are we seeing it hit landfall here in northern Florida, you're still seeing surge and water rising in parts of Florida far south from the Big Bend area. So you look at southwest Florida, you look at the Tampa Bay area, you're seeing really significant amounts of surge. There's going to be streets that are flooded and will continue to flood all up and down the west coast of Florida. So it's hazardous conditions right now, and please, do not be going outside until things settle down. We know that travel on the roads can be hazardous, and we typically, unfortunately, will have fatalities in every storm from that. When you are out on the roads in the middle of one of these storms, that is very, very dangerous. So please do not do that. Stay put. Also, if you're sheltering in place, know your surroundings in terms of trees. You are going to see trees that are going to get knocked down. I'm sure some have already been knocked down, but you have these 140 mile an hour winds hitting here in North Florida. This is going to extend. I mean, you're going to have hurricane force winds that are going to extend across a couple counties to the east and west of Taylor County, and that's going to cause trees to fall down. If you are in an area where you have that, please take precautions there. Treat it almost like a tornado as that's going by you for there. We have many major bridges that have been closed throughout today at various points. Most of the major bridges, of course, in places like Tampa Bay have been closed, and they will be open as soon as it's safe to reopen them. We have FDOT, they're standing by. As soon as it's safe, they're going to go in there, do the inspections, and get those bridges open again. You may, if you're here in North Florida, you may have a period of calm when you are in the eye of the storm. Just understand that storm is not done, and it's very, very hazardous to go out for there, especially with how fast this storm is moving. You're going to be putting yourself in jeopardy if you try to go out in the middle of the eye wall of the storm. We are going to see down power lines. Those are very hazardous as well. Please do not mess with any down power lines in and around your home or anywhere you may come in contact with them. Also, be very careful about standing water. People get up in the morning when it's light out. There's going to be standing water in a lot of parts of this state. Don't go trudging through that. There's going to be a lot of hazards that could be in there, and just please be mindful of that. The storm is going to pass, and when it does pass, you're going to have still going to be dark outside. Do not go out in the pitch black trying to navigate any debris or anything. That's just not going to be the safe thing to do. Wait till you get light and you can take stock of what's going on in your property and govern accordingly from there. When you're using ladders, please be safe with that. We do have fatalities involving people climbing on ladders, trying to get to their roofs and falling, and that happens almost every storm. Please just be very careful with that. And also, of course, there's going to be an enormous amount of debris in various places, and you could have down power lines, you could have dangerous objects. Just be very careful when you're around the debris. Also be careful about using a generator. Do not use a generator inside your house. There have been power outages. There's going to be more power outages. You can use a generator, but make sure you're running it outside your home. Keep it away from windows and keep it away from the doors. We have not had fatalities in the more recent storms with misuse of generators, but that has happened in the past, and this is something that's very much avoidable. So the state is ready as soon as this storm passes and it's safe to do so, to commence search and rescue operations. We have 3,500 National Guardsmen standing by. We have our state guards standing by. We have state troopers standing by, and they will be active if need be. And I know we have a lot of our local first responders are going to be ready to be able to be on scene as well as needed. We're also going to be ready for road clearing. There is going to be debris on the roads. We want to get these roads open. We want to make sure that people can travel safely. And so our Florida Department of Transportation is standing by for cut and toss operations, and those will begin as soon as it's safe to do so. They're also going to go in and inspect the bridges so we can ensure they're safe and can be reopened. They have 40 large pumps to be able to pump water out of areas that have flooded, as well as almost 700 generators. And then, of course, another mission is going to be power restoration. We have tens of thousands of linemen that are standing by. I think people have seen some of the pictures that we've seen from TECO, from Duke Energy, from FP&L, and they are going to be on scene probably as soon as it's light outside in the morning. And so you'll have all day Friday, a full day worth of power restoration. I think they're going to get a lot done. Obviously, we're going to have to navigate this debris, and hopefully they're going to be able to have easy access to these power lines. But this is a priority to be able to get the power restored as quickly as possible. And then we're also standing by to help with disaster supplies for people that need them. We have meals ready to eat, of course, the water mission, bottled water, Starlink internet devices, fuel for folks who may need fuel. So that all is standing by and ready to be done. And there'll be a lot more that is going to be done as circumstances warrant. If you need assistance, non-emergency assistance after the storm, you can call the State Assistance Information Line at 1-800-342-3557. Now, this is not for emergencies. If you are in a situation where it's emergency, you make the normal emergency calls. This is for non-emergency assistance involving the aftermath of the storm, and we urge you to call that number if you need help. So we are here. We're going to face the storm in Tallahassee. I think we're on the west side of the storm, but I think the winds are actually going to be very, very significant. And even though the eye of the storm has entered into Taylor County, you are absolutely going to see major, major gusts in Jefferson County, in Wakulla County, in Leon County. That's going to happen. So we'll be here at the EOC through that process. And then when it's safe to kind of be liberated from here, we're going to be out and about surveying the damage and coordinating the response. With that, I will bring up Kevin Guthrie.
Thank you, Governor. Hurricane Helene is, as the governor mentioned, is currently making landfall in the Big Bend area of Florida. Please shelter in place, as the governor has said. Stay indoors. Again, I like his analogy of treat this like a tornado right now. Again, those individuals along Deckle Beach, maybe even as close to Steinhatchee, you're probably seeing very, very clear skies right now. That's because you're in the eye of the hurricane. If you can hear us and you have power, please do not go outside. That eye wall is going to close on the back side momentarily, probably within the next 15 to 30 minutes as it continues to make landfall. So please stay indoors. Roads are dangerous due to the flooding, debris, potential downlines. Do not risk it. We have numerous roads that FHP and DOT are responding to now that are underwater, and we do not want anybody to drive through that. So please, again, turn around, do not drown. You never know what's underneath that roadway. If you are hearing trees snapping in your area, take immediate shelter. Go to an interior room away from windows and doors, most likely an interior bathroom. Close the doors and get as low as you possibly can. If you lose power and use the generator, do safely and never indoors, as the governor's already indicated. Once the storm passes, listen to your local authorities for updates. There may be situations where it's not safe for you to return back to your home. You can call ahead. You can talk to your local sheriff's office, your local police department, and see if they have anything that may be dangerous to where your area cannot actually be accessed. There's nothing more frustrating than coming back into an area after a disaster and you can't actually make it to your home. So call ahead and see if the area is accessible before you spend all the time in traffic trying to get back to your residence. Do not attempt to clean up hazardous debris or down power lines. Make sure you report the damage to local authorities. If you have damage, make sure you're calling your local emergency management agency or local 911 center. Please do not mess with power lines that are wrapped up in trees. If you do need assistance, as the governor said, you can call the state assistance information line, 1-800-342-3557. Again, that's 1-800-342-3557. We have talked about this in just about every press conference we've done, but do not do dangerous things after the disaster. If you need help, we will send you help. If you need help, your local county emergency management agency will send you the help. We have folks like Team Rubicon, the Southern Baptist Disaster Relief, the Methodist, the Catholic Charities, Salvation Army, United Way. All of these agencies will come and help you take the debris off your house. They will help you take the debris out of your yard. They will get on ladders themselves with people that are trained to do so. And that is free of charge. Don't take the risk. Use the free assistance. You can always follow us at floridadisaster.org/updates for latest information, or you can follow us at FLSERT on X and Instagram, and on Facebook at FDEM for real-time updates. And again, thank you very much, Governor.
So this is a big storm. It's a powerful Category 4 storm, but it's also just very large, and it's going to have impacts are being felt, have been felt, and will continue to be felt far and wide. And so when Floridians wake up tomorrow morning, we're going to be waking up to a state where very likely there's been additional loss of life, and certainly there's going to be loss of property. You're going to have people that are going to lose their homes because of this storm. And so please keep those folks in mind. Keep them in your prayers. We've got a lot of folks here that have been lined up, ready, mobilized for days now, ready to go and provide support. Kevin listed some of the nonprofit groups that are going to be here. Of course, the local officials and the local emergency response folks, first responders, they're going to be there. So there's going to be a lot of assistance that's going to be brought to bear. But the reality is, a storm of this magnitude, it leaves a lot of damage in its wake. And so I don't think we're necessarily getting the full pictures of it right now, just because so much of the impact has been in the nighttime and will continue through the wee hours of the morning. But I think when we get the sunlight back up and people are able to go out and take stock, you're going to see some serious damage. So it's not anything that we can't handle as a state. We're very good at being gritting through this stuff, and we know that's just part of life when you live in a tropical climate. But it is going to be difficult for an awful lot of people. So everyone that's been involved, thank you. Everyone out there offering your thoughts and prayers, thank you as well. Okay, any questions? Yes.
What's your reaction seeing that the storm hit Taylor County after we've had Adalia and Debbie also hit Taylor County?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, I think Kevin and I were talking. I think their EM director resigned going in when they saw this storm could come to the big, because it's going to be 3 storms in a little over a year. What is it, 13, 14 months basically? And this one is, I think, hit landfall stronger than Adalia did. And Adalia was a major hurricane. Debbie was not as strong, but Debbie left a lot of water in its wake, and so you have relatively under-resourced community that is having to do that. Now we're going to be there, we're going to be helping, but it isn't easy when you work hard to recover from Medallia, then you get Debbie, and it's like, oh man, and then you get another big one come right on top of you. So it's not going to be easy, but we'll be there. We'll get through it.
I know you mentioned the one fatality. Is that the only one that you know of right now?
It's the only one that we know of. But as I said, we wake up tomorrow morning, the chances are there will likely have been more fatalities. It's just when a storm is this big and this strong, there's so many different things that can happen. This one was some car driving on the roadway and something falls on you. We aren't going to have trees falling. We're going to potentially have people, maybe against advice, go out on the roadways. We may have some more road, and you may have had folks get caught up in storm surge. I mean, we don't know, but I think it's likely that one or some of those things will have happened by tomorrow. But no, we don't have any reports of any fatalities other than the one traffic fatality. But I would imagine that will likely change as we get more and more reports through the wee hours of the night and into tomorrow morning.
Any word on substantial damage to infrastructure? I know, like there's that one bridge that runs to St. George, and there were a lot of concerns about some of the bridges, things moving up the coast.
We don't yet, but I think for sure when we wake up in the morning, the storm will have moved through the state. I think some of the storm surge that we've seen on the Florida Peninsula on the West Coast, some of that may have dissipated by then. And so, we're not necessarily capturing in real time the full extent of that just because it's late and it's dark out and people aren't about of that. But I would imagine that, you're going to see a lot of wind damage probably in the northern part of the state. I think most of the damage in the rest of the state, I do think there'll be some wind damage because the gusts were out, but I don't think it's going to be like we saw with Ian or Michael for places that weren't in the eye of the storm in terms of that level of wind damage. Now here in the Big Bend area, 140 miles an hour, that's real deal. That's not quite what Michael was. That's not quite what Hurricane Andrew was and some of the other big ones that we've known in Florida. But that's packing a big punch. So we'll have a better sense of that, I think, tomorrow morning. But no, we have not gotten any reports of things like after Hurricane Ian or within like an hour, you saw Sanibel Causeway, you saw Pine Island Bridge washed out, basically. We have not gotten those reports yet. That doesn't mean it can't happen and it won't happen, but not to our knowledge yet. Okay, we will be back tomorrow morning.